Now we can speak to the head of the Palestinian mission to the UK, Dr. Hussam Zomlot. Dr. Zomlot, thank you so much for joining us here on the programme. As Alex was saying there is so much resting on this truce, but of course it is so fragile, so complex, and the difficulty is, will it hold?
We hope so. This is the only glimpse of hope amid such carnage that you've just reported a small part of it only today. We hope so. We work towards such a ceasefire, but we are adamant to reach a permanent, comprehensive ceasefire, because after what we have seen in terms of the utter mass murder, destruction, tantamount to genocide, the ethnic cleansing, of every 4 people in Gaza, 3 have been displaced, the starvation. I think we need a permanent ceasefire, and we believe that these poses of feeding our children for a few days and then resuming killing them are unconscionable. It is good news that hostages will be released from both sides. And while the world is hailing the release of 50 Israeli hostages, good for them, nobody is talking about the hundreds of Palestinian children that will be released, that have been taken hostage by Israel even before the 7th of
Zomlot,
October. Even before the 7th of October. So this is an opportunity to expose the rotten, corrupted system of racial domination that Israel has erected in the entire
Mr. Zomlot, I just want to ask you on that point that you've just made about the Palestinian prisoners, because there is an expectation that 150 Palestinian women and children will also be released from Israeli prisons. The Israelis say that some of the people, some of the women and children in that group are terrorists. How do you react and respond to that?
Well, for the Israelis, every Palestinian is a terrorist. For the Israelis, every human being who supports our rights, everybody who calls for the end of the occupation is an anti-Semite. For the Israelis, every Jewish person who supports our rights is a self-hating Jew. They have ready labels for everybody. Our children are children. They deserve love, protection, they deserve a different future, and never in the history we've seen rounding children without charge, without trial, without access to their parents or even lawyers. This is savagery. What Israel has been allowed to do has really demolished all the rules that we have built together after the horrors of the Second World War. And the international system, the rules-based international system, was based on 2 things. The first is that war should never be the first option, and this was Netanyahu's war of choice, because he waged a war against our people, our children, our hospitals, our schools.
Zomlot,
a war of choice. This was not a war. This was not a war between Netanyahu and Hamas. This was an Israeli aggression against our people.